Wow, talk about a softball. Capitalism has proved to be the most, I think I mean proven to be the most effective anti-poverty program ever conceived by the modern man. Um, well, the problem there is you said statistics and you provide nothing. Well, uh, the problem is that YouTube would not allow any kind of external link. Only YouTube links are allowed, so. But, yeah, I don't know how. But the question is, if it was, would you have provided any sources? Provided that that prove your statement here. This is just an assertion. You don't mention any sources either. Like any names. I don't know. But proven to be the most effective anti. What causes poverty? Define poverty, and how is capitalism anti-poverty? Are you suggesting that no poverty exists in this world? Being solely responsible for the massive improvement in worker pay, working conditions, and prosperity. Really, is that why America has this conflict, like a tightrope conflict, tug of war with economics and finances? Because especially taking Joe Biden's recent state of SOTU, yeah, a lot of the Republicans hated what Joe was saying, particularly about the billionaires paying more taxes while the working class pays less. Yeah, a lot of Republicans did not like that. So, can only question you how you think capitalism is anti-poverty. The Republicans are the antagonist in that shit. Economic antagonist. Now, being solely responsible for the massive improvement in worker pay, what massive improvement are you referring to? All you've done here was make assertions. Now, as you can see, I do have that bit highlighted, but I didn't get past this paragraph before I decided to record, make a video. Over the last 3 centuries. Yeah, if that was the case, then we wouldn't have a problem in the presidency. We wouldn't have problems in politics. But the Republicans are, like I say, the Republicans are the ones that they're the economic antagonists. They're the ones causing the problems, which cause the, decline or whatever word you would want to use. Decline in worker pay, working conditions, and prosperity. Why? Because those guys they want everything for their donors. They're corrupt. Especially people like Marjorie Greene and Lauren Boebert, along with some Democrats like Kirsten Sinema, which I now call Miss Yellow. Corrupt Yellow. I don't know. But then there's Joe Manchin, too. So many names. Now, before anyone inadvertently tattoos moron on their foreheads by pretending that government or socialism or unionism played any part in this, here's a little objective recorded history. With the adoption of modern capitalism, with the division of labor and enhanced capital flows, the targeting of investment made the Industrial Revolution possible. Okay, so how is that? What? Okay, sure, that was an advancement, but, well, do I really have to look into that? No. I would have to look up Industrial Revolution to actually, read into it. But the problem is, anything I do is ignored. I've written 2 books so far, and nobody on YouTube cares about it, while many conservatives on Getter have ridiculed it, despite not ever having listened to my audiobooks, which I've recorded them into. So yeah, I would have to look into the Industrial Revolution since you want to bring it up. Total real competition. Well, see, the problem with anything you meant like Industrial Revolution is you still have the Republican Party interfering with everything. It doesn't matter what happens; they're always going to have those. Now, I used to be an advocate for the Zeitgeist movement because I thought the resource-based economy would be perfect, but I had to distance from myself from that because I knew it's impossible. After what Republicans or the MAGA types have demonstrated ever since they came about through Donald Trump's presidency. I know now that the resource-based economy is never going to be a reality because these people are nuts. These people do not want what's best for the people. The voters want discrimination or bigotry and fascism. They want pure white and Aryan nationalism, I guess. I don't know. Also Christian. So, like, they also want minimal government. They want wealth. That's not very much of a revolution. Or at least, I don't know. Like I said, I have to look into that. Total real compensation has increased steadily and substantially from that day to this, even as unionism has declined. The stagnation. Okay, so why is union? Yeah, I should have mentioned. Yeah, you mentioned this before. Where was it? Yeah, unionism. Why is unionism necessary if capitalism is effective anti-poverty and we had an industrial revolution? Explain that. Why are unions necessary? Something else which the conservatives hate, the right to work. And what is it, a movement, the right to work movement? You just contradicted yourself here. You mentioned unionism, but then you mentioned, you first say that capitalism is anti-poverty, then you mention unionism, and then you mention you mentioned capitalism being anti-poverty and the Industrial Revolution, only to then mention unionism. That's a contradiction. Unionism wouldn't be necessary if capitalism was indeed anti-poverse or anti-poverty, and along with the Industrial Revolution, if it caused that, and if the Industrial Revolution is a good thing. You just contradicted yourself. More specifically, in the 19th century, in the complete absence of labor laws and before the rise of union power, well, real wages quadrupled. Did they? Based on what? Why are people complaining about wages then all the time? Why are, particularly the minimum wage? And what about inflation? Have you forgotten about inflation? Working conditions. I don't know much about working conditions, so I can't really say anything about that. But the stagnation myth has been long debunked. It's the first time I'm hearing about this, and I watch a lot of videos. Well, let's put it this way. I pay attention to about 5 different pundits, and none of them have mentioned anything about stagnation or any kind of stagnation myth being long debunked. I never hear anybody talking about stagnation. They talk about unions a lot. More specifically, in the 19th century, I already read that. The average work week was slashed by a third. What? Okay, you're lying. This whole thing is bullshit. in America, the work week has not been slashed. In fact, the Republicans have fought against that tooth and fucking nail. It's been mentioned in the past. I think some other country did it. Certainly not America. America is about hard work. Fuck that. What are you talking about? Plummeted to fewer than 1 in 3 boys and 1 in 8 girls of families could finally afford to forego. Nothing but assertions here. The remainder were overwhelmingly still employed. Still employed on family farms I don't know if that's a word or not. Is that a typo? I don't know. Or if on family farms has been the norm for what? The remainder were overwhelmingly still employed on family farms has been. What are you talking about? Who is what? The remainder were employed on family farms. Who? What the fuck are you talking about? For that matter, how exactly is capitalism neither more nor less than individuals engaging in free exchange between coercion harmful to anyone, particularly, okay, what? For that matter, how exactly is capitalism neither more nor less than individuals engaging free? What are you talking about? Who is talking about free exchange? Absent coercion, harmful. What? Particularly given that anyone with a functioning brainstem already got the memo that every aspect of Marx. You don't even know what you're talking about. No, shit. 73 fucking replies. And you don't even include my quote, so I know what the fuck you're referring to. I don't understand why people don't do that. I do that. Anytime I see anything more than 10 replies, I include a fucking part of their reply that I'm referring to, so they know what I'm talking about for the context. It's not. I thought that was common sense. Well, I guess I'll just speed the video up then while I do this. Because you're an asshole and so many others are also. Yeah. So capitalism is completely innocent. How is... Yeah. Is that what you're talking about? Okay, let's go through this, okay. Is successful by producing wealth and prosperity. This isn't hard. Compare the U.S. Okay. So, does capitalism benefit everybody? Isn't that what we should be concerned about? Everybody? You're just committing a fallacy here. Wealth is nothing. That's just a side effect of capitalism, an economic side effect. Prosperity is what we're after. But you're comparing the US or UK, for example. Okay, what I'll add to this is, I can't remember the countries Cenk mentioned, but Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks pointed out that, I think he said, well, I think he did say Korea and Maoist China are different forms of socialism, or they're communism or something. Whereas a country like Venezuela and Denmark, I think he mentioned, are completely different forms of socialism. And now I don't know if that's true. I haven't looked that up. But if that's the case, then this is nothing. Compare the U.S. It's erroneous because different countries are different. may all be socialism, but they're different. So yeah, so does capitalism benefit everybody? How is wealth a valid economic goal? That production. Okay, so do you even answer that? It doesn't look like it. Oh wait, that's another guy. So and something I really don't like about YouTube is you go through all the comments in the thread and it leaves out the last one, the recent one. But I really don't feel like well, yeah, screw it. Okay, so that's another guy. But the thing is, well, you responded with what you did. Given that there objectively are no horrors, there aren't? Didn't I respond to that? I thought I did. Unless it got deleted or something. Which would be why you... I don't know. Given that there objectively are no horrors of capitalism and fascism has already been done, what are you talking about? Is this for the original comment? Now do the horrors of capitalism. Okay, it must be. Yeah. So I don't know what. Coming back up, where was it? Shit. There it is, okay. Damn it. Okay, well, you went on about everything you did, and it has nothing. Oh, fuck. Now, my reply was to Anthony, but you decided to reply to me for whatever I said. But instead of, you just went on your own fucking tangent instead of answering my questions. So that's shit on your part. Because Anthony failed. So capitalism is completely innocent. How is it successful? No, it didn't create prosperity. Yes, it created wealth, but not prosperity. I mean, he didn't really answer my question. Well, okay, I'm at fault here because I said capitalism is completely innocent. I'm not. The question is erroneous on my part because it didn't. I said capitalism, or didn't specify people. So I had to do that here. So I corrected my own mistake here. So does capitalism benefit everybody? Now, how is wealth a valid economic goal? Yeah, you don't answer that. Nobody does. Probably because there is no fucking answer to that. Because it isn't. The purpose of economics is production. So we can, well, we're beyond the stage of survival by now. It was to get us out of the survival, hunting, hunter-gatherer type stuff. That era of human history. Because we have technology now, we can do that. And so that's what economics is all about. And obviously we need a means to exchange, which would be money. Which could be said is probably the best way. Now, I'm not saying I'm a capitalist, but I see money as just a tool. Now, I'm all about economic trial and error. Now, if money is the best and only way we can do things, mainly due to human psychology being so fucking screwy all over the world, so unstable, because we haven't mastered human genetics yet, money would probably be the best way. as I mentioned earlier before, the Zeitgeist movement. Now, Peter Joseph mentions crime being a product or a result of, well, capitalism, which I wouldn't say is not true, but I can't fully agree with it because it's all human psychology too. It's not just the environment that shapes people. People are born insane too. But, well, I mean, I live in capitalism, and I have no real desire to be wealthy. I certainly don't want to step on other people's feet. I don't want to fuck people over. I want everybody to have equality. I want, I want things to improve. I want everybody to move forward in life. Well, I want the whole world to work together. That's what I fucking want. Now, does that sound insane to you? I think I'll leave it at that. It's been 20 minutes now. Well, yeah.